One day I showed up at All-Fear Convention, and I was in the motel, after the local motel, getting changed after the afternoon session, go back to the evening session. I'd come down with some young activists, a little older than me, but still young activists, who were involved in trying to reform the party. And I was in one of those 8x10 bathrooms, they have, shower, toilet, and a sink, and I got a towel on me and shaving cream, and I hear bam, bam, bam at my door, really loudly. And I wonder, what the hell is that? I thought it was this guy, Bob Cunningham, at a radio show, and a couple other guys. So I said, okay, guys. And I walked to the door and opened it up, and standing there was the former governor of the state of Delaware, Albert N. Carville, a big guy, about 6'5", talked at you like this. And the state representative who got defeated 4 years earlier, that's a Democratic state rep who was retired, and one of the, from the family that had more senators appointed than any other family in American history, to the tunnels, a former retired justice, and the state chairman. And they said, I'm standing in a towel and shaving cream on my face.
Welcome to it, everybody.
What did we all just hear? Oh my gosh.
Some people saw it.
Some people were there and they saw it. Yeah. So, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to set we were just like, we don't know. We're just going to play it for the people. And you guys are all like, what? Just this. That was President Biden. And if I've never done drugs, but is that what it feels like when you're trying to figure out what is happening? And you're just like in this fog of like confusion and you don't feel anything else because it's so confusing. I imagine that's what it's like. That's what it's
pretty damn close.
Okay, well, Wednesday. There you go, guys. That's the show. Goodbye. Have a great day. Good night, everybody. That was the President of the United States. Why was he telling? I'm trying to figure. First, I'm made of questions right now. It's a weird news day. There's several stories that we're following, and there's one big story that I wrote about last night. There's several stories that we're following, and there's a bunch of weird stuff. Like, what is it's the eclipse? You know what it is? It's the damn CIA. I'm telling you what it is. So welcome to the show. It's your very confused, still lovable, but a curmudgeon nonetheless, Dana Lash, with you here at the top of this first hour. And I am still just trying to figure out what I just heard. And me reading the transcript is not helping. Exactly. It makes it actually worse. If I'm being honest about it, it makes it worse.
How many times did you reread that last half?
I still don't understand it. Do you know something? Someone was talking this morning, and apparently they're actually doing, I'm not joking, they're apparently doing, inter-party surveying on this. So it's not like it's something that they're going to release to everybody. But apparently, whenever he goes out and talks to anybody, he does badly. It doesn't go well for him. It's just bad. He actually runs voters away. And that's making it really difficult for his campaign and the people in his campaign to campaign with him and to try to attract voters. So they're keeping him shut up. I know that they've been trying to get these debates going. And I think all of the news networks are like, oh, wow, we just realized that this could be a ratings bonanza for them. This is where you're going to see the media get ignorant. Because if you don't give the media what it wants, they're going to get you. If you don't, they want eyeballs. They need something to sell their ads on. They have ad time. They need people to buy it. It's an election year. And if they're not going to get this debate, then I would imagine you're going to start seeing some negative coverage happen. If they don't get this debate, Democrats are going to have to concede this, and they're going to have to at least have one debate at least. So I don't know. It looks worse, though, the more Biden speaks. There was a Politico piece this morning. I don't know if you saw this. and it's literally called, "Has Biden considered having an Iran strategy?" And it's not a good, it's a very unflattering piece because it portrays him as, I mean, it's just bad. As Juan says, they better get Hunter's Coke ready. He's going to need something. Go ahead and have Hunter teach him. Probably already did. Actually, who taught Hunter? That's a bigger question. So they write that literally, this is a sentence in Politico, which, by the way, will run Democrat Oppo. Just like their articles. Quote, "But for most of Biden's time as president, his aide's number one goal hasn't been to solve this puzzle, but to keep it off the president's desk." They said that the strategy is to keep it low boil on all fronts. Clearly, these people have never been in a kitchen. Tell me that you've never cooked anything without telling me that you've never cooked anything. Keeping it at a low boil on... Kane, did it look like a low boil? Yeah, no. With the drones and the missiles and stuff that Iran was throwing over Israel's way.
That'd be the definition of boiling over. Actually.
Yeah, actually, that would be. Yeah, that would be the very definition of boiling over. I mean, they can't pretend this away. Oh, it's just so bad. I mean, the Politico pieces. I'm still trying to get over that soundbite. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's one thing when you read the transcript and you're preparing a nationally syndicated radio program and you're like, okay, I'm reading the transcript because there's a bunch of other audio I was looking at. And I'm like, oh, it's Biden. It's, it's crazy. Of course it's going to be crazy. It's another thing when you hear it live and you're listening to it and that guy literally has control of the nuke button. I'm sorry. I'm going to move on because, gosh. But they said that Biden has political rights. He has no strategy for Iran. He has, well, wait, I take that back. Yes, he does. Don't. Well, what do you mean don't? What do you mean No. Okay, well, what's no? Don't. Okay, we're back to don't. Can you elaborate? Sounds effective. Super effective. It's, I don't know. That's his strategy. That has been his strategy. Now, what that entails, I don't know. I don't know what that entails. Yeah, he doesn't either, and neither does anyone. They're just like, maybe that'll suffice. That's what the left thinks sounds like a hard-ass response. They think that. Meanwhile, I'm going to tell you what. I will tell you this. I don't care where you stand on Trump, and heaven knows that I have my critiques. Heaven knows. I don't care. I don't care about the mean tweets. Have you seen me tweet? I don't care about them. Okay? I don't care. I reveled in the fact that there was a guy, we had a guy in the White House, who everyone else, all the other foreign leaders, including, let's be real, our allies, were terrified of. Not because, I don't think that's because they thought he was a brilliant strategist. I don't think that it's because they thought that he really understood the lay of the land and the geopolitical area. I think it's because they knew if you ticked him off and aggravated him enough, oh my God, he'd probably press that button on you. And that scared them half to death. I mean, you had Short Stack down there in the Pacific in North Korea who was terrified to do anything because because Trump would say, I'm going to rain rockets down on you. I mean, he would just tweet it. He didn't focus. He would just tweet it. And it for sure it freaked out the Pentagon and the Department of Defense. But it terrified every other leader. So they were like, well, let's maybe just chill for a little bit. Because he actually might be nuts enough to do it. Oh no, he is nuts enough to do it. I mean, it was just it's fascinating. As Kane said, peace through unpredictable strength. So I would take that over don't. And then trying to walk off the stage, but you don't know where to go because you're barely sentient. I want the everyone's terrified of us because the Americans have a crazy leader. I want that again because that was peace, right? Like nobody really wanted to do anything. I mean, sure, they might, rattle the saber, but they're not really going to do anything because who knows? He may be mad about it while he's eating breakfast in Mar-a-Lago and press a button. They don't know. So To me, Kane, that's a strategy. Yeah. I just, I really, that's a strategy. Oh my gosh. I haven't talked much about the Trump trial and all that because I don't care. And you guys are besieged with it. You guys have cable news covering it wall to wall like it's little Jessica that fell in the well. You guys cover it enough. Juan and Steve have no idea what I just said, Kane. No, they don't. That was the first time, sidebar for a minute, humor me. I think that was like the first time that it was real time, everyone was following along. And you know that if Twitter existed back then, it would have been well experts and baby Jessica's and experts. Right? It would have been, you would have had a whole bunch of well experts. That's that little girl that fell down the well in Texas. I was in elementary school when it happened. And I remember watching it. It was just wall-to-wall coverage. And it was a big thing. And they finally got her out of the well. She was trapped in there for, 2 days? Something crazy. She fell in the well in her backyard playing. And it was a big thing, big ordeal. Wall-to-wall coverage. The first time it predates OJ, it predates all of that. It was the first time wall-to-wall coverage. And everyone was just obsessed with baby Jessica in the well 2 days straight. I mean, Oprah did a thing on it. It was everywhere. And cable news is really treating the trials kind of like the baby Jessica in a well. So you're kind of like, wow, what else is happening? I mean, I get it. The LA riots were like that too, but that happened after. So baby Jessica in the well was like the first time that really, can you imagine the insufferability of Twitter if it had been around then? Jiminy Christmas. We probably had a civil war a lot earlier. I'm just saying. Well, I'm an expert on a well. No, you're not. Your parents had a well. Shut up. So, it's true. Yeah, I feel seen, right?